Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares. Welcome back to Wild Eye Wednesday. Now, today we're going to be talking about Faces of Fear. Faces of Fear is a 2020 film which runs approximately 113 minutes and is produced by Tony Newton. Now, this is an anthology, so I'm going to be handling this the way I handle a lot of other anthologies. I'm going to be going segment by segment, giving it a rating, and then finally giving the overall film a rating. This is usually the only time I use the 1 out of 10, but I don't think an anthology should be judged solely by the sum of its parts. I think it should be judged individually as well. All right, getting right into it. Segment 1 is called Callous. Now, of course, a lot of these are pretty short, so I'm not going to be able to say too much about them. Now, Callous is about two guys who are doing drugs and drinking beer. This is German, by the way. And they hire a hooker and they want to do some pretty rough things to her. Let's just say the script gets flipped a little bit. Now, I'm going to have trouble pronouncing a lot of these names. This was directed by Wilhelm Mueller. I gave this one a 6.5. It wasn't bad. All right, we have coming down to segment 2, which is called Harvest. Harvest is directed by Martin Sontag and Kim Senderholms. It also stars Kim Senderholm, Sif Anderson, and Slavko Labovic. Okay, this one is about it. The title "Harvest." It's about harvesting um, organs. That's all I'm really going to say. There's a doctor who is trying to harvest a kidney for a rare blood type patient, and he kind of messes it up. And that's all I'm going to say about it because, like I said, these are fairly short, and I don't want to say too much about them and give away the entire story. This one I gave a 7 to. I thought it was pretty good, and it's really, really gory. Okay, segment 3 is my least favorite, and it's called Sea Attachment. This one is written, directed, and produced by Luke Bernier. This stars Maud Mitchard and Crystal Stevenson. Um, yeah, I didn't really care for this one too much. It just didn't feel finished, and I just wasn't impressed. Segment number 4 is called Skull Baby. This was actually one of my favorites. This is written, directed, and produced by Ken Cohen, and it stars Phyllis Jackson and Hayden Having. This is about a lady that lost her child, and she's dealing with that by getting a tattoo. That's pretty much all I can say without giving it away. And I gave this one a 7.5. This was one of my favorites. Segment number 5 is called Dream or Nightmare. Now, this is directed by Ravid Pesca, and it stars Fabro Nobile, Giuseppe Bellero Bolani. Yeah. Dream or Nightmare is very hard to explain because it's done in a way that represents dreams and nightmares. You keep seeing the guy waking up and he's having these nightmares, or is it reality? Because it kind of involves a slasher and his girlfriend or wife, and that's all I can say about that. I gave that one an 8. I was pretty impressed with that one as well. All right, let's get to the next segment. The next segment is called Red Rubber, and this was my favorite. This is segment number 6. This was directed and produced by Moses, and it is stars Mercedes the Muse. I don't really know what to say about this one. I liked that it was really offbeat. I liked what it said about society as a whole, in my opinion. But it was done as a preview, so it's not very long. This is supposed to be like kind of grindhouse looking, so like I said, this was done as a preview, but ended up being a short film, and I really like this one. It has a rubber sex doll, and that's really all I'm going to say about it because it's pretty cool. Okay, moving right along. Segment number 7 is Facing Face. Now, this stars Donna Hamblin, and it's written and directed by Luke Bernier again. This one is about doppelgangers, and a woman is tracking down her doppelgangers, and that's pretty much all I can say about it. Um, this one wasn't bad. I kind of got bored, and it didn't feel like it was finished in this one, and it was actually really short, which doesn't really say a whole lot for the segment. I gave this one a 6. I mean, it was okay. All right. Segment number 8 is called Cooking with Human Blood. This is written and directed by David Keel, and it stars Holly Smith and Henry Stephen Pagan. This one was an interesting one. This one is done as, like, if you have a YouTube channel, and it's supposed to be like found footage style that is supposed to be a true story. I don't think it is. But they have little interviews with people who claim to drink blood because they've always wanted to be a vampire. Well, when you get through the interviews, you have a couple who is actually going to cook with human blood. She's going to make, let's see if I can remember what she made. They were cupcakes. They were butter cupcakes that had blood in them. But it was, yeah, butter. Can't remember the name of the cupcakes that they were. But anyway, it was pretty nasty, and it was okay. I gave it a 7. Which brings our last segment, which is called The Ties That Bind. This is the longest segment in the anthology, and it didn't feel like it belonged. And I'll get to that in a second. This one is written, produced, and directed by Jason Figgis, and it stars Lynn Rafferty and Stuart Dunn. Okay, this one is an Irish one, and I actually really thought the acting was good. I thought the story was decent, but it just didn't belong. It didn't feel like it fit the anthology itself. It's more like a mafia sort of story, where you have a guy that got killed, and his girlfriend, who's the love of his life, wants revenge on the family that did it. That's basically all I can say, but it doesn't really come off as horror, but it's done extremely well. The only problem I had was the sound was a little in the background, and their accents were very thick, so it was hard to get all of the dialogue. But all in all, I kind of liked it. I gave that one a 7.5. It just didn't feel like it fit, though. That was the one problem I had with it. Now, in general, I gave this one a 7. It's an okay anthology. I've seen a lot better. But I did like some of what they were doing in this film. Some of it comes off as torture porn, and that's okay. It just didn't have a fluid tone throughout the entire anthology. But it's definitely worth a watch. Definitely worth a watch. So, yeah, definitely check this one out. If you're into anthologies like I am, I love anthologies. You know, this one is almost 2 hours long, but it was really good. And I like that they had a little bit more time to play with. So, you know, the last segment could have been probably cut from the entire film because, like I said, it didn't really fit. But I'm kind of glad they didn't. Yeah. Anyway, those are my opinions on the film. If you like anthologies, you'll probably like this. And another special thank you to Wild Eye for sending me this copy. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.